Hey guys, so I just wanted to do a quick little speed test and camera test comparison here between the new Sony Xperia X Compact and the iPhone 6s here, which is obviously due to be supplanted by the iPhone 7, which I have just pre-ordered. Very excited indeed. And we're going to check out the performance here of Sony's latest pocketable flagship. See how it compares. And obviously with the Sony Xperia X Compact we're getting a much glossier finish now compared to the frosted glass construction of the last compact Sony. The iPhone is running the latest iOS 10.0.1 GM distribution, so basically the final release when it's released to the public, so it should be rock solid in terms of the stability. And you can see it boots on very fast here. So we're going to have a look at the performance. You can see everything's closed down in the background and see how Sony's phone compares here. So let's start off with the dialer and the messaging, clock. So both of them seem to be very identical so far. Third-party apps, a little bit faster on the iPhone. Twitter, that was the X Compact. Insta, similar. Facebook, that was the X Compact again. Camera, that was definitely the iPhone. And we do have the Play Store as well somewhere on here. So iPhone again. I think the iPhone probably pulling ahead a little bit now, but the X Compact doing superbly, generally in terms of the fact that it's not running the latest processor or anything. So I just wanted to show you as well that this is iOS 10.0.1, and we do have the Health app as well versus the Health app on the Sony, which takes a while to start up there. So let's have a look at the actual raw performance. Let's do a quick little speed test of the Wi-Fi. See if we're getting good performance here. I know the Z5 Compact was pretty good when it came to the Wi-Fi. And the iPhone is usually class leading indeed. I wonder what the Apple A10 will give us. Wow, it might give us twice the amount that we're paying for. Hopefully, that would be pretty awesome. And let's see the X Compact. So it's going for it. It's going for it. Yeah. So a little bit more mid-range performance here, I guess, in line with the processor, which you can see is a little bit better still with the upload. So 1 out of 2, not bad, but the iPhone generally ahead there. Let's have a look at the Geekbench score. I'm going to fast forward this because this one takes ages to run. So let's run this. And so we're just waiting for the X Compact to finish up here, and we do have the result. So you can see the iPhone 6s is nearly double the single core and a bit higher for the multi-core. So that you can see is very nice here score on the iPhone, but still not a bad decent single core here. I think that's the one that does actually count when it comes to the raw kind of performance. So we're going to have a look at the browsing here, the day-to-day kind of stuff. Let's see how they compare. So let's load up a page here, such as BBC. And we're going to load this up. So a little bit faster here on the left, I noticed. So that is pretty good. For Sony. And another one, GameSpot. Now the iPhone comes back. Again, iPhone here. One more. Tech Radar. Go. X Compact again here. So very nice performance here from the X Compact. Probably going to give it the round there. If we're talking like 2 out of 3. So we're going to have a look at the multitasking, how they compare here. So we do have a few apps open on both of them. Reload there on the left. And the iPhone has masterful multitasking here on the iOS 10. Very stable indeed. But I think that extra gig of RAM certainly has benefited the X Compact, because one thing I did notice about the Z5 Compact was how much it reloaded all the time. So that is pretty nice. One thing which is a bit annoying about the iPhone 7 is that we're not getting 3 gigs of RAM unless you get the Plus version. It seems that many of these manufacturers are not bringing down the high-end specs to the smaller phones anymore. I'm looking at Sony and Apple. But generally you can see the performance is quite comparable here. You know, very solid in most respects. Some reloads here and there with the X, so I'll probably give it the iPhone being the gold standard still, and then it did a little reload there. But generally you can see very good management of both of them. In terms of the camera, we can quickly check that out as well. So we do get the 12 megapixel on the iPhone versus 23 megapixel on the Sony phone. On the Sony phone you do get a whole load of different options you can put on, but the iPhone's always had the reliability reputation, really. No nonsense, point and shoot, get the best result. And generally I'd say in terms of the good light, the X Compact does surpass it in terms of the colours. It looks a lot more punchy on the X Compact. But when you are going to the lower light, I'd say the results are about comparable still. Sony's still not really mastered this particular aspect. It's better than previous generations of the Sony cam because it upped the ISO, but the iPhone still gives very solid and usable shots, which are no worse really, in my opinion, than the X Compact here. So I'd definitely say in terms of the good light, I much preferred the X Compact, much more colourful and vibrant shots, and hopefully the iPhone 7 will bring such nice shots when it comes to the daylight as well. One area where the iPhone does have a big advantage is the video 4K recording ability, which strangely enough we don't get that on the Sony anymore, even though we had it since like the Z1, so very strange omission indeed. So as you could see from that, I'd probably still go with the iPhone when it comes to the video, because the 4K just captures much more detail. Although the stabilization is much better, I'd say, on the Sony because of the Steadyshot feature, which we did leave on, which makes for very smooth video. So if you ask me, I'd say that if you can get like the iPhone 6s or something like that, for the similar price as €400 here, as the X Compact, probably would make the better choice overall. The X Compact is a solid phone in many ways and has a lot of improvements that I was looking for, like more RAM, Type-C connector, physical shutter button, expandable storage, etc. But the raw performance of the iPhone, is something that is hard to beat, really. And I will be doing some more tests with the X Compact, seeing how the gaming is, etc. So do stay tuned for that. Hope you found the video helpful if you're looking at these two, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.